for 5 minutes. For months now, we have been hearing these staggering statistics about the catastrophe at our southern border, the millions of migrants coming across our border illegally, the human trafficking, the fentanyl, the lost unaccompanied minors. But today we hear something that is even more important than that. Today we hear the real personal stories of unfathomable loss and irreplaceable lives. And yet, even in the face of this testimony that we have heard today and the testimony that came before it, our colleagues across the aisle impugn the purpose and the necessity of this hearing, calling it a political sham, calling it a stunt, calling it theater. And they suggest that what we actually need to do is pass more laws. So as a former federal prosecutor and judge, I'll start today with a refresher on a few of the things that are currently illegal in the United States of America. It is illegal to traffic fentanyl in the United States of America. Human trafficking is illegal in this country. Theft is illegal in this country. Rape and murder are illegal in this country. What's more, the Department of Homeland Security has an absolute obligation to detain and remove those who enter this country illegally. We do not need more laws. We need a President of the United States and a Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security who enforce the laws of this country. But what do we have instead? An administration that has deliberately subverted the duly enacted laws of the United States of America, that have deliberately defied the orders of courts in this United States of America, who have ordered and directed that they desist these unlawful policies. We have a Department of Homeland Security that has defied inquiries from the United States Congress. And as for the 27 appearances of Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in front of this Congress, not one of those times did he admit that we have lost operational control of our border, that we have ceded control of our border to the Mexican drug cartels, or acknowledge the scope, scale, and crisis that our communities all across America face as a consequence, as a direct consequence of these lawless policies. Every single time an individual is allowed to enter this country unlawfully, Americans are less safe. Ms. Nobles, Mrs. Dunn, as a mother, I see my child and my family in those photos that you shared with us today. And it is truly something that we cannot fathom, the loss that you have each suffered. I thank you for your willingness to come here today and share with us your stories. I would like to hear your perspective, please, on what more Congress could be doing to support you and to try to prevent this type of unspeakable tragedy from happening in the lives of another family. We'll start with you, Ms. Nobles.
I would like to see every illegal immigrant who wants to come here to be properly vetted and background checked. I hear a lot about more funding, resources, and all that. How is that going to help them do their job in the first place? They failed Kayla by not checking her murderer's background and did not make that one phone call. One phone call could have saved my baby's life. They didn't. And after he was arrested, they Child Protective Services took him and put him in an unsecured children's home with other children. And I know Americans commit crimes on other Americans, but why do we have to take other countries' trash? Why do we need them?
Ms. Dunn?
We talked about a lot today about more resources at the border. And I appreciate that, and I respect that. But I don't think that members in this room and other rooms at the Capitol understand that we are actually at war. And we're at war with the cartels. We're losing our children. We're losing a generation of children. We're at war. We need our military at the border. That's what we need. We don't need more Border Patrol. We need our military at the border, stopping the drugs, stopping people from coming in. They can't come in. We're full. We're closed. That's it. No more money. No more. No more sandwiches. It's closed. I'm sorry. Come through the proper channels. I am a first-generation American. My parents both migrated here. Guess what? They did it legally.
Thank you, Mrs. Dunn. My time has expired. I now recognize the gentleman